We back. Well, we not back officially, but we in motion. We're here. Forget all the intros and the pleasantries. We on your TV screen, your iPad device, your iPhone. It's our 2 cents with Nisha Court, and I'm Court.
And I'm Niche.
And we are coming to you live, and we want to ensure that you are relaxed and in a comfortable place, because we want to talk about something relaxing and a couple things, whatever comes to the brain. One topic in particular, but we want to get the people back their money and drop some sense on it. What you think?
What you said.
You can't repeat me. I do 2 cents too. We can give a 4 if we need to.
Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all things our 2 cents, and let's get it cracking.
Boom, what we want to talk about? Talk to the people. Tap in. Pin on where you see this at. Like, comment, share. Be interactive with us. Allow us to know that you appreciate the conversation and you want more of it. We'll be more consistent this time around. No guarantees in life, but let's just say we focus.
Super focused.
Facts. So what we talking? What's the word?
Health.
Word is health. So with us, we like to. So we're gonna simplify it this go around. This ain't a comeback. This ain't a reboot. This is a continuation of what we started a while ago, and we want to be more intentional for the dialogue. Not to say the dialogue before wasn't impactful, but we definitely want to frame it in a way that could be digested and implemented by all. But we have a particular sample that we like to cater to each and every time that we have a conversation. And those in similar circumstances that have to navigate through the difficulties of life. I know we all have it tough, but those that are under unique circumstances and continue to find a way to thrive. And not only do they thrive, but they want to share with others to make sure that they're good and go. They're good to go. So, health. Health is a trending topic always, as it should be. What aspect of health do you want to chime in on?
Mental health.
Okay, mental health. Shout out to everybody championing mental health right now. Very important. What about it?
Just make sure that you're taking accountability of your mental health the same way you're taking care of your physical. Because if everything works together, right? So if one is out of sync or out of touch or out of tune, it may cause some red flags in other areas. Agree. And also make sure your support system, you checking on their mental health too, because you don't bear the weight of the issue by yourself. And although it may not rear its ugly head the same in each individual, everybody deals with it in some way, right? So, just learning how each other, in particular, just people in general, navigate through things. I'll say, like for us, you've been like the best over the past few months by not nagging is the wrong word, but like just pushing me to talk about anything and just allow me to articulate whenever, however, who, what, when, where, why, how. And if I needed a minute, a reset, you gave me grace, right? And in the same token, again, it wasn't the same, but I understand you were also going through your own thing, and you aren't as verbal as I am. Let's ask.
For sure.
So, but when you did, I listened to you when you did articulate how you were processing things mentally. So I think where we've grown is you don't try to make me process mental the way that you do it, and I don't try to make you process it the way that I get through it. And we figured out and learned over the years, like, we're not going to do it identical. However, we adapt to how each other navigates through it, and we guide one another.
For sure. I think that's trial and error. Like, I don't want to make it sound like as great. Thank you, first of all. As great as I may or may not have navigated through it, I can't act like that was always the case.
Facts.
And the biggest reason why I was able to navigate as well is because there's plenty of examples where I didn't understand, right? Or I didn't take the time to understand because I was so wrapped up on my own.
Right.
When you're granted time to experience life, like, and you go back and you actually have an after action wash down and actually take a look at the notes and decipher where you went wrong and what you did right. When you actually look at all that stuff, like, you get the opportunity to grow, and all the ups and downs, the miscommunications, um, the lack of understanding, all those examples prior to just allow me to really tap in. But to be honest, like, I've always known, I've known for a long time now that misery loves company, and it's not always negative though. It's just you could be down on your luck, and you don't have the right perspective to get over that hump. Like, that could weigh you down just as much as a negative person. It's not necessarily a negative. You don't have to say things negatively, but you just don't see things in a positive light because you're negative, positive, and you're neutral. So that's always been an MO, but it's different when you have to face some shit yourself. And it's different when you have shit on your front, because you talked about it from a perspective and you mentioned it, but like, that's a difficulty that's still, it just takes time to really, really, really massage and to iron out the wrinkles of, not only do you have to, when you're in a partnership, when you're in a marriage, not only do you have to listen to, be accountable for, and adhere to someone else, is that you gotta check on your own shit too. And if you got kids, that's another layer, right? If you got a profession, that's another layer. You know, if you still fortunate to have your parents, and your family or in-laws or whatever, that's another layer. There's so many layers to it that, if you're not careful, all the layers can meet at one time, and it could be a very, very difficult moment. And as you mentioned, as of recently, it's been a storm. Um, but I'll be completely honest, even with, like, verbally expressing it, I still don't think, like, I always think there's a way, and it's gonna work out fine. Until I'm proven otherwise, like, I've always believed, even if I don't understand, right? I believe that everything is happening for a reason, and everything on the other end will work itself out. We just gotta keep pressing forward.
Right.
And when God puts us in a position to not only show our adversity and show our strength, we got to be able to share that with others. And we're fortunate; we're in positions, not only just age and experience, um, but just in general, to be able to be in a position where people will listen to us.
Right.
We have a resume that demands such, and it's up to us to share those, because I think we'll be doing, doing people a disservice if we don't share it. And to your point too, share it as much as we can tolerate at the time.
Right.
So I'm not trying to force you to be like, yo, you gotta tell it. Be like, okay, I'm here to support you whenever you're ready to let it go. But until then, like, we just let it be. So I thank you for allowing me to guide you and to be alongside you and to trail behind you and let you take the lead because that's important. But that's just what you're supposed to do. So at the end of the day, I just felt like we were tested to be what we're supposed to be, and that's partners.
Man.
So I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't want it too rosy. I don't always want it easy. To our conversations, I too would like to know what the hell is this for. But
it's test after test after test after test, and it's like
But tests are easy when you're prepared though.
I wasn't prepared.
That's what I'm saying. Like the test, what are the tests actually testing? Right, testing us in what capacity? Right. So you testing my faith, I'm locked in.
Right.
You testing my spirit, which can be the same but a little different. I'm locked in. Are you testing my physical capabilities? I'm locked in. Right. Like there's so many ways that the universe can test us. That a lot of the times, some of them are tested individually. Some of them tested all at once. It hasn't been too many, in my own experience, that all of them have been tested for once. And when they were tested at once, that's when I was vocal. Like you said, I'm not going to say that shit. I'm just going to try to figure a way to get through it and figure it out. But when all them shits got tested, it was like, okay, let me take a break. Because like I had to choose and I had to remove myself from the decision making and I had to think critically and deep and like, okay, there's got to be a meaning here. What the hell is this? What is going on? What can I do? Right? So, but at the end, it made me a better person. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I asked every day before I touch earth, I told you, I asked God for understanding and the clarity to understand where we're going. Right? I don't necessarily need to know the details of it, but I would like to know that I'm safe and I'm in your grace, and that at the end of it, like at least I'll be able to understand why we did it,
right.
Whether it's in my benefit or not. Just give me that understanding of why we're going down this path, and I'm for it. So if I need to change some things up, I'll change it up. But yeah, mental health is very, very important, and again, it's not a hot topic until
it's a hot topic.
It's a reactive. Like, do you feel there's enough conversation around the because there's proactive and reactive. Mm-hmm. Is there enough conversation in the reactive or the proactive department when it comes to mental health, or is a lot of the emphasis on the reactive when bad stuff happens? Like, what do you do to prepare yourself for when your mental gets tested?
So for me, it's like in layers. Like, I'll just use, for instance, anything pertaining to Caden, I'm proactive. Like, it'll take a lot to like get me riled up. Like something we can't figure out or he's going through. Like, we're being tested again, right? For me, I'm reactive because I'm so proactive with everything else. I'm reactive, and it's frustrating because, like you say it all the time upstairs, you advocate for Caden, and you do it well. You articulate like your do's, your don'ts, your questions, but you don't do it for yourself. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, why don't I get in there and champion the same way I do for him? I don't know if it's the nurture in me or the mom in me. I don't know. Or I won't say not deserving. Or maybe I'm proactive because he doesn't have the capability to use his voice. Right? And like, I know all his crap like the back of my hand. So I'm learning new shit about myself every day, right? Yeah. Like, so it's easier for me to go with what's memorized versus every time we go to a different building, they're like, oh, and then there's this. And then 2 weeks later, oh, and then you gotta go do this. And it's like every time we get caught up and I feel like I'm all right, I have to react to something else new because it wasn't caught whenever, or it's like in a trauma response to, oh my God, here we go again.
Right.
And it's never that, oh my God, here we go again. Even with Pooh, like all our open heart surgeries, it's never been like, oh my God, here we go again. There's been that fear because of just the having to go through the open heart surgery. But for me, it's just completely different.
Right.
So I'm learning. I'm figuring it out as we go through it. It's just year 47 has been interesting.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I'm right alongside you.
Yeah.
No, I got absolutely 100%.
So how about yourself?
Very, very proactive in many ways, in my opinion. Like mental health. I didn't know mental health was a thing until, hey, I told you the story, but like when my cousin Taiwan went through his stuff, and diagnosed with schizophrenia or whatever he was diagnosed with. I don't know if it's changed over the years, but that was the first time in my life that I knew or I was exposed to what mental health looks like. And that because they always say, old folks would say that, man, that boy done went crazy or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know like the technical terminology of it and, just how it looks overall. But that was my first look at it. And I saw it firsthand. Like, again, I'm calling Ford and be like, yo, I need you, we gotta figure this out because this ain't right. And even Ford, I'm sure Ford won't mind me saying, but even Ford couldn't even really understand what I was saying. I did a terrible job of articulating what was going on because I didn't know. I just thought he went crazy, but it was deeper than that. It was like, and even now, because I think about it still to this day, it's so fresh in my brain. Like, I still try to figure out the signs beforehand.
Right.
Like, did I miss something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was I not paying attention? Mm-hmm. So my thought process with mental health after that is being proactive, because only thing I said, and I love Ty to see this, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to end up like that.
Right.
Because to me and to a lot of people's eyes, like you didn't see that coming. Right. There was a person that had everything together, and at a blink of an eye, and
you lost what you knew.
Everything. Mm-hmm. Everything. And he had the brightest future amongst all of us. But it all be gone like that. So I was like 19, 20 years old at that time. So since then, it's been on my mind to not have that happen. Because all I knew is he was facing life. Right. Like, life was getting the best of him and he couldn't take it anymore. So when life ever started getting too hard for me, because after that it was moving back home. It was joining the military. It was everything in the military, deployed, not deployed. Got a new son. Relationship with my son's mother. Like all that stuff was was heavy to me because it was all new to me. So I've always tried to be proactive. But and you say this year has been tough. Like this year's been a lot of reflecting on my behalf, and for a lot of those years, all I was doing was deflecting. There was some proactiveness, but I did a lot of deflecting. And that's what made me realize that when the perfect storm happened this year and when I had the chance to really sit back and look, it's like I probably didn't do as great as I thought I did. I just did a great job of putting shit here. But then when everything gets forced into the middle, it's like, yikes. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that was just me internally. So I thought I was very proactive. I had spurts and moments of it, but a lot of it was me being able to react to what life was throwing me. But life wasn't really throwing me heavy curveballs. It wasn't dropping bombs on me. It was throwing stones and pebbles, But the moment it threw a curveball at me, or 2 or 3 in a row, it's like, wow, I can't take it. So I was a little frustrated in myself because I thought I was better prepared. But then it just self-reflection was like, oh, you weren't prepared for this at all. You know? And I don't know if I should have been or whatever, but that's the standard I look at myself. It's like, nah, I should have been ready for this, but I just wasn't ready. So since everything has transpired and taken place, it's just like, okay, what do you need to focus on? How do you come back center? What do you need to do? How do you be there for somebody if you're not there for yourself? Like, you gotta shake that shit. Like, you gotta figure it out. Make it happen. Make it work. But it's definitely not been easy. So I would like to believe I try to build a foundation to be proactive, but I'm still learning on what that looks like. And part of my problem may be I don't seek outside help to get there. And that's where the hot topic, which is genuine, of therapy and all that stuff is probably great, because I'm trying everything but that.
But so you do therapy.
I do.
Every time you have in-depth 9-hour-long conversations with your brothers or your father or your mother, like that's really the only people you talk on the phone to outside of us.
Shout out to the Tyler gang.
Yeah, so it'll be 10:15 and I'm like, this joker's still outside and they came in here to put poo in the bed. But I understand that's your outlet. Like, it's something that recharges you when you're able to articulate to them certain things that I may not understand. 1, because I'm a woman, or 2, because I just don't go through it or whatever. And just to get that bit of advice from your brothers or your father, it's like it recharges something in you, and you don't do it often. So when you do get the opportunity to do it, it's like you can see you got a little extra hop in your step when you get off the phone with, especially since nephew been here and we get to see nephew on FaceTime.
Shout out to bro.
Yeah, but like something that would seem so small to someone else, it's like it's a big deal for us. And it may also be that too, because we're the only ones out here on the West Coast.
Facts.
So that little bit of feeling like you can reach out and touch, and you getting a response not only from Fort or Key, but Ro looking at you like, it's the same boy. Like even Priscilla, like everybody, just the little bits and pieces that we get from everybody, it just does something. So I get it.
For sure. Definitely. Hey, I appreciate that, boo. Hey, shout out to the Tyler gang. Everybody, I'm not going to name all y'all because I don't want to forget nobody. We got new members and old members, renewing and stuff. Facts, like, as an Army brat, and I hate telling the story on over, maybe I didn't ever tell it on this, but like, family is all we have, immediate family. Like, we love everybody, but like, that's why I give my mother credit for, like, she made us love each other. Like, she made us depend on each other. And we didn't understand it at the beginning because, either Ford had to take me everywhere and he ain't like it, or I had to take Key everywhere and I ain't like it. Like, we were forced to love each other, and it's paying dividends now, 30 years later. So yeah, shout out to Glenn. I appreciate it. But mental health is a very important foundation, and maybe that's what they were doing, but I don't need much. But I do feel like maybe that outside source would be beneficial. We'll see. I try to find my own ways too outside of that to have therapy, and because some of the things is learn a lesson and teach the lesson. Right. So the lessons that I have learned, instead of just crying about it and going into a corner and just being by myself, when God offers me the opportunity to cross paths with somebody that may need that lesson, I try to share it. And then it just makes me look at myself in the face like, nigga, you can't give people that advice and you don't follow it, so you gotta follow it. So it just prompts me to want to follow it. So that's just the more days that we get and the experience that we get, like it makes you want to be productive. Because what I know is that if I'm down or, you know, if and not faking it though. So if I don't do a better job of getting myself to a point where I can be there for everybody, I know y'all will be okay, but I just be a disservice because you have to take care of a grown man, and it shouldn't be like that. Like I gotta figure out what I need to do to navigate, you know, and I gotta figure out what I gotta do to help everybody else navigate, because that's what a family's supposed to do.
Right.
I'm not supposed to let anybody just figure it out for themselves 100%. Like I'm supposed to help, even if it just holds your hand while you figure it out. So, but until you actually get put into those circumstances where you really gotta do that, because a lot of us, like, we think, yeah, I've been doing it. Like, no. Until you really go through it, like, it's different. And those that have gone through it, I'm envious and I salute you, because it's a lot. When not only do, you know, it was, like, on my brain was, like, my own career, and not no particular order, but consistently thinking about myself and my career, you know, with health, thinking about, you know, everybody in my family, but the obvious, my grandmother, right, which I lost my other grandmother 2 years ago, that I didn't even have the opportunity to go see, you know, the health of my mother, you know, and still, I told you, and still thinking like, damn, my father getting old too, shit. Like, you know, just that on your brain, you know what I mean? You're thinking about your brothers and everything they're going through. And then with all of that, like, you still gotta have room for the family that is actually in your house, right? Like, and they should have the priority. So everything that goes on with you, Kaden is the obvious, but the obvious ain't even what you're worried about no more.
Man.
The obvious is good to go.
Just coasting.
But that paranoia will have you believe like you gotta like figure that part out. But it's everything with you, you know, and making sure that you're good. And not just mentally, but physically and spiritually. Because you could be, my opinion, your health may not be all in order, but if your spirit is good, like, it can help you navigate through a lot of that. So I don't even know if it's really mental health, the conversation that I'm probably honing in on. It's probably your spiritual health. Like, what's your faith like? And it's not particular religion or particular, you know, a particular God or whatever you call them. It's like, at the end of the day, deep down inside, like, can you navigate even if you don't know what the steps are looking like going forward?
After the third ding, my spirit was tested.
For sure.
So whether I was vocal about it, I'm sure my outside showed different from my inside, just because you still got to keep your game face on, and we still had family that depended on us before we knew that I was gonna be down for however long, right?
Yeah.
But for like a month straight, I questioned, like, why am I getting another test?
Right.
And then another test. And then I ain't even finished that test and you throwing me another test? And then it was like, oh, now you gotta go A, you gotta go B, you gotta go Y, you gotta go Z. And it was like, and in my mind, I kind of like with you, it was like, damn, Kaden coasting like a breeze. And here I go throwing a curveball in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
2 outs, bases loaded.
Yeah.
So
Kaden actually helps with perspective too. I gotta give him his credit, because I've said it to you before, and it's known, like, it's really hard to be down on yourself and on your circumstance when you have a young man that has navigated this life
with such limitation, but it's just as happy and joyful as the next. It just makes it hard. It'd be hypocritical. They're not even hypocritical. It'd just be like, it's not me. It's me not paying attention.
Right.
Like, how am I gonna be upset that my leg is hurting, but he can't walk?
You can't walk.
Right. How is it I feel or beat myself down because of what I said and he can't talk? Right? It's just, it doesn't make sense. Right? Like, every day is known not to be guaranteed for him, and he don't act like that. He
don't know no different.
Which makes it easier to navigate through life a little bit. So I gotta give him his credit, because I gave everything else credit, but I guess seeing that every day helped to give me perspective among everything. And then even through our conversations, I'm like, we're battle tested, right? Like, why feel some type of way when you know that you can navigate through the most difficult circumstance, and you can do it constantly over and over again. So what makes this any different? Right? So, and I get it, it's different when it has to deal with you, but that's the experience that that has been afforded to us, that, to be honest, a lot of people don't get that though. They don't have that blessing, right? Canaan could look like a burden if you look at it from the top layer, and if you have that particular mindset. But if you really pay attention to it, he's been a big blessing for all of us. So we got to use that example to help us navigate through circumstances that may not have to deal with him. I use a circumstance even like professionally, me navigating through when, people will ask me about, did I get something, did I not get a promotion, yada yada. Like, I'm not worried about that. Like, I got life. Like, y'all think I'm gonna be down to beat myself up for X, Y, and Z when, like, my real fight is not even in this office or even in this uniform. My real fight is to keep everybody at peace and everybody happy at home. Like, that's my true fight. So everything else doesn't matter, So a lot of people wouldn't be able to understand that because, and it's no knock to them, but the tests that have been given to me and us, like, everything beneath that is not to belittle it, but man, I ain't worried about that. If I can navigate through this, I can navigate through anything, and that's my stance, and that's up to me to ensure my team understands that, ensure that you understand that. Like, man, we battle tested. What are we talking about? We been here. Maybe it was with a different person, but we know everything we needed to do for that. We're gonna do it for this and then some. And then repeat. There's gonna be a point y'all gonna have to do that shit for me. And I don't need y'all crying or doing that. Like, yo, we gotta figure this the fuck out. I want that same energy, right? Like, tighten up the boots and let's figure it out. Because the mental health and what we're talking about is important, but, like, you gotta believe. And that goes into your spirit. And if you don't believe, like, you gotta practice belief. And again, you ain't gotta go to church every Sunday, you ain't go Bible study. Sorry, Rose, don't be mad at me because I'm telling people not to go to church. But go to church if you want to, or whatever you go. But you gotta practice that within your day to day, right? You gotta have a talk to something bigger or greater than yourself, and you gotta practice that over and over, and not just when shit is good. You gotta practice that shit. Or not when just shit is bad, but when shit is good, you gotta practice. Like, you gotta say, thank you, I appreciate you for allowing me to have a meal. Cause everybody ain't guaranteed a meal.
Right.
Thank you for allowing me to pay my bills. Everybody ain't able to pay their bills. As much of a burden bills are, they a blessing because they're yours and allow you to have the things that you have. You gotta practice that. The same way if we talking physical health and you gotta practice, or you gotta train and you gotta lift weights and do this and do that to get bigger, stronger, whatever your goal is. For your mental health, it's the same thing. Like, you gotta train. Right? So, and I'm saying that from a perspective of not that I have everything figured out, but I know this is some of the things I had to tell myself. Right? So, the mental health part, it's a layer, but it's so loaded that if you don't pay attention to it, you'll just put a band-aid on it, but you won't actually nurse it back to health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the longer you stay on this earth, it's going to be tested. You know, you just got to figure out how to get bigger, stronger, faster, smarter. And you've done that. And a lot of times our conversations, I just be asking for you to give yourself credit and grace. You know what I mean? It's that you say it all the time. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Well, nigga, when it's time to give yourself grace, give yourself grace.
I think it's hard because in my brain, I'm like, I thought I was doing everything right. Like, and I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, don't do this. I don't do it. Make sure you do that. I do that. Make sure you do this. And it's like, but y'all still throwing me these damn curving fastballs.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what next? So as of recent, it's been a little bit easier to give myself grace because we're finally getting our head above water and now we're treading. But hey,
I also pay attention to life, and not to say that nobody else doesn't, but like even like with Deion Sanders, right? Deion Sanders had his bladder removed. Before that, Deion had two of his toes, his important toes, the big toe and the second one after that removed. And when you see his leg, got a big chunk out of it taken out. The old saying, I'm gonna screw it up, but smart people learn from their mistakes, wise people learn from the mistakes of others. And not saying that those are mistakes, but those experiences that Deion has gone through, and granted, again, he's a human being just like anybody else, but it's a testament of what a person can go through and still be great. And if you hear him, his spirit may sound shaken a little bit, but it's expected because you know what he's gone through.
right.
We're all human beings. If that human being could do that, why can't I? Right? So I try to, and again, I haven't had anything yet to that experience. However, like, it allows you to put whatever you're going through into perspective and say, damn, this motherfucker got 3 toes on his foot and a half a leg, but he's still limping and preaching what he preaching.
Right.
And he telling you like, hey, like, we still here. Long as we got life, we here. And we gonna be impactful. And we gonna show up and show out. So, like, I try to pay attention to stuff like that. So, mental health, since we're on the topic, and health in general, it's also like, people know, like, physical health and what you consume, you know, makes you consider you healthy. But mental health, I don't think there's enough conversation about the consumption of what needs to be consumed to maintain your mental health.
Okay.
Because if you're going through all that, but the only thing you're consuming is negativity or stuff that just ain't for you, then how do you expect yourself to be better mentally? So that conversation alone, I think, could be expounded on, because I think that's the real separator. Like, if you going through something mentally, you gotta tap into something that's gonna fuel you rather than take away and not distract you. Because oftentimes it's like, oh, I just need something to distract me. It's like, no. I need something to talk to my soul so I can feel better. Right? And whatever that may be. That could be a book that you read, that could be a video that you see, that could be music that you listen to, that could be a prayer that you say, or it could be all of that. Like, you have to acquire those things and put them into your repertoire. I can say that for me personally, like, that's what I try to do, and try to put myself in those predicaments or those situations where I can be rejuvenated rather than just distracted, taking my mind off it. I can openly admit, for a lot of years, that's what I was doing. Again, I was just pushing shit to the side. But then when everything came to the middle, it's like, okay, I haven't been paying attention. So I need to start paying attention. That's important. So what you consume mentally contributes to our mental health. And based off what I see, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if as people, I don't know if we understand that. And as black people, I don't know if I don't want to generalize this, but I don't know if we tap into just how far behind or how bruised we are when it comes to our mental health, because we talked about it before, but like the trauma that we get inherited, and that goes across the board to any human being. But for us that are black, some of that stuff is ugly, because the stuff that was passed to us, our parents were born in the 50s, grandparents was born in the 30s, and that was a different time. Mm-hmm. All that stuff that they passed to us, it wasn't necessarily the shit that we actually wanted, but it probably was what we needed or what they needed. And our times may have shifted slightly, and they gave it to us anyway. But even those dynamics, like that helps you to recognize where you at mentally too. It's like, is this really? Do I feel anxious or anxiety, or like was this passed to me because of the fear of the yada yada yada? You know what I mean? Because when you can recognize that, then I think it allows you to tackle the mental health conversation a lot better. So what do you think about that? Passing on trauma.
Absolutely. Like.
So better question.
Yeah.
What trauma did you pass? That you identified that you passed it, and then you've corrected over the years to ensure that what you went through won't be repeated.
Unintentionally accepting disrespect. For the sake of the keeping all things good. Because when you're a people pleaser or you're a fixer, and you want to make sure that everybody around you is good, sometimes the lines get blurred, and you unintentionally put yourself in these situations that had you sat back and thought about it, you'd have been like, nah, we ain't even. But
okay. Hey, what camera I'm looking at? Mine. The main one. Get your mental health right. Put things in place that are gonna allow you to be an asset to any circumstance, professionally, personally, individually. Right? Don't forget about the individual aspect. The people pleasing that you spoke to. That's a standard thing, but don't forget to please yourself, and don't forget to tap in to and to be aware of the signals and the misfires or the excitement, all the feelings that you personally have, like be in tune with them so that you can recognize and you can be proactive.
Right.
Before anything gets adverse, right? You're already knowing how to apply whatever attention to it so that you can fix it. It's important. And as parents, we pass it along. As children, we inherit it, but we can stop it at some point if we just recognize what's going on. And then the topic and the conversations that we're having in today's day of mental health, we should definitely be able to pass that on. So kids in their teens or the early 20s or even the early 30s, like if they're still doing that, what we're claiming is not being advantageous for the group, when they get up in our times and our age, then we've done them a disservice. And as the old heads, we gotta be able to come to the front of the room and say, we fucked up.
Absolutely.
We messed that up. And if we don't do that, then the generation even after that won't even be able to see us be human and showcase humility and show them on what understanding and accountability looks like. Right. So no knock to the older heads, mom, dad, don't be mad at me. Grandma Rose, everybody before. I'm not talking about y'all. Y'all in that group, but I ain't talking about y'all primarily. I say that for ourselves going forward. Like that's what I want to be. I want to be vocal about when when Noah's in he 15 or he 20, like I want to be able to share some of my mishaps and where maybe I wasn't the greatest. I don't just want to share the good stuff, the good shit. I want to be able to be transparent about it all, so that when he's my age, you know what I mean, like he's thriving and he's comfortable in his own skin, and he's not trying to be nobody but himself, which I think is important. Because if we're not careful, they'll be living lives for somebody else and not for themselves. So when they get to a certain point, they don't even know who the hell they are.
Right.
And I don't want to see that happen. So I think mental health plays a big part in that. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your mental health today. Be fair though. Don't just say 1. 1 being bad, 10 being good, but just rate where you're at mentally.
6.5.
Which is good. It's above average.
You?
I like it. Mentally, I'm at a 8. And I'm at an 8 not because life is great, but I have a level of understanding that I'm very grateful for.
Absolutely.
That God has given me. And I'm not worrying about too much that's out of my control.
Right.
So that allows my mental health to be higher than average, but not as great as you would want it to be. But the more days I'm granted on this earth, I strive to get there. But I think as of today, I have so much clarity on everything. Not saying I have all the answers, but I have clarity on everything. Everything is crystal clear, and I can put things in perspective, and it helps me to be able to navigate going forward. That I feel very comfortable in my own skin. So with all circumstances, with my household, my family, my other family, my profession, health, everything, where I want to go, like I just have more clarity. My brain doesn't really feel cloudy or bogged up or anything. Like, even if I don't understand something, I can sit down and be like, okay, let me breathe and let me figure this out. That hasn't always been the case. So as of today, I would give that an 8 for sure.
I'm only a 6.5 because there's still a lot of uncertainty.
Understandable.
Yeah. So, but 6.5 is a lot higher than 60 days ago.
For sure. And I'm sure at some point we're going to be comfortable enough to tell people what you've been going through. I'm not going to force that on you and make you say that, but share that when you feel comfortable so that people can put in context on why things are how they are. So, I appreciate that. Hey, it's 2025, man. We not doing intros, man. We just jumping right into it. So, you've been listening to Conversation with Nishan Court. Particularly, you've been listening to Our 2 Cents with Nishan Court. And our word, because words matter to us, that's our saying. Because one of us doesn't have the ability to verbally express how they feel, so we feel the need to amplify our words because it's important to us. So our words, mental health. And all in all, for me, I'll give my final thoughts and then I'll let you get your final thoughts on mental health. But don't wait till the last minute to address it. It's an everyday effort to ensure that it's in the greatest shape as humanly possible. And give yourself grace if it's not where it ought to be today. But just recognize how important it is, because something that goes unaddressed early only becomes problematic later.
Absolutely.
And if you're granted the opportunity to live this here life for a while, you don't want to get up into our age and then you have to address a lot of things that you didn't unpack years prior. Not pointing you out and making you look like a bad person. It's just saying that you will only be as great to everybody that you need to be great to when you address those things. So keep doing what you're doing. Nevertheless, we appreciate y'all listening to us. And I'm going to let Niche give her final thoughts on mental health.
You said everything.
Say something else?
Check on your strong friends.
For sure. Shout out to
Check on
them.
your strong family. Like, if somebody crosses your mind, reach out to them. It don't gotta be long. It don't gotta be drawn out. It don't have to be a conversation full with fluffers. It can simply be, hey, you crossed my mind, just checking in, wanted to make sure all is well,
Facts.
sending love or sending whatever,
Facts.
and that's it. An emoji, something.
Send them some money. Give them some coffee or something.
Yeah, like if somebody's on your mind, let
Send
them
some
know.
lunch. Send some
Yeah.
lunch money.
And there isn't anything wrong with the strong person asking for help.
For sure.
And there isn't anything wrong with the strong person accepting the help. So thank you.
For sure. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you the quote unquote the one that calculates everything and has everything coordinated, and the coordinates get all screwed up, it could put you in the eye of a tornado.
For
right?
sure. One of the big joints. What is it? F5?
Man. But understand that at some point it's gonna slow down, right? And things are gonna become normal again. It may take a little time, and you may have some cleanup to do, but it'll get better, and it'll get better as long as you think better,
For sure.
right? So you can't worry all the time. I think I said this on like a few episodes back. You can either be a warrior or a worrier, right? It's okay to be in your moment at that moment, right? Or it may linger for a day or two. But carrying around that book bag or whatever for however long, at some point your body gonna get tired.
For sure.
And your spirit is gonna break. And you have to be able to, words matter. You should be able to articulate to those who are going to take time to understand and help you get through it.
For sure.
Right? Some stuff you can do by yourself. The big stuff you need your team with you.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Yeah. So
100%. Hey, y'all check in with us. Our 2 cents with Nishan Court. We here. We getting back. Don't call it a comeback, but just know we coming back for our #1 spot. You know what I mean? Got any questions? Let us know. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever platform I put this on, and we out.